They say every woman has a breaking point, but I never thought I would reach mine. My name is Elena, and what I'm about to share with you is not just a story. It's my confession. It is about the night I sold everything I had left, including my dignity, just to save the only person who mattered to me, my son. I was a young widow, raising my little boy, Noah, alone. He was only 8 when the doctors said the words that shattered my world. Leukemia. His only chance was a stem cell transplant. The cost was $250,000. Money I did not have, money I could never dream of making. I begged. I pleaded. I knocked on every door. Banks turned me away. Friends had already given what little they could. My late husband's family? They refused to even acknowledge us. My father-in-law looked me dead in the eyes and said I had destroyed his son's life. He turned his back not only on me but on his grandson, the only piece of his son still alive. And then I made the decision that broke me. I walked into the office of Adrian Cole, the man who signed my paychecks, the man who had always looked at me like I was disposable. He was rich, powerful, and arrogant. When I asked him for help, he mocked me. He said, "First you'll want a fortune, next you'll want to run my company." His words cut me like a knife. But the call came that night. The doctor said if I didn't pay immediately, Noah would lose his place on the transplant list. That night, I made a choice no mother should ever have to make. I agreed to spend one night with Adrian, in exchange for the money. I wore a simple black dress. My hands shook as I turned down the photograph of my late husband, ashamed to let his eyes rest on what I was about to do. When I walked into that hotel room, Adrian's breath caught. He whispered, "You're stunning." I wanted to scream. I wanted to vanish. But all I could think about was Noah's face. His laughter. His little arms wrapped around my neck. That night will haunt me forever. The next morning, I didn't look back. I grabbed the duffel bag of money, ignored Adrian's hungry stare, and fled. He thought I was just another gold digger. He had no idea I was a mother clawing for her child's life. With that money, Noah's surgery was paid. His life was saved. But my soul felt broken. Adrian didn't stop thinking about me. He started testing me at work, mocking me, baiting me, and then apologizing like a man caught between his cruelty and his desire. I hated him. But every time he looked at me, I could feel the weight of that night pressing between us. Then came the business trip. He insisted I join him in Dubai. I didn't want to go, but I couldn't afford to refuse. On the plane, he probed me with questions, trying to unravel me, but I kept my walls high. When I impressed a client with my negotiation skills, I saw something in his eyes I had never seen before: respect. Maybe even admiration. But Adrian was a man torn apart by his own demons. His father had betrayed his mother, and she had drilled into him that women were deceitful, that beauty was a trap. He wanted me, yet he despised the fact that he wanted me. And then he saw me. Not as his employee. Not as the woman he once paid for a night. But as a mother. It happened at a dinner meeting. My phone rang. It was Noah. He never slept without hearing me tell him a story. I slipped into the lobby, whispering into the phone, "I love you, my sweet boy. Good night." Adrian followed me quietly. He overheard everything. But instead of seeing the truth, he twisted it in his mind. He thought I had a secret lover. His jealousy burned, and he punished me by making my workload unbearable. I wanted to hate him. I told myself I did. But sometimes, when his eyes lingered on me a second too long, I felt something stir inside me that terrified me. Then came the night that changed everything. At a charity gala for children's hospitals, Adrian heard the truth. The director revealed a boy had almost lost his transplant because his mother couldn't pay, until she found the money at the last minute. Adrian's eyes widened. His gaze found mine across the room. In that moment he knew. He knew why I had sold myself. He knew I wasn't cheap. I was desperate. Shame carved into his face. I couldn't bear it. I ran. But he came after me. He showed up at my door in the middle of the night, begging for forgiveness. "Why didn't you tell me, Elena?" he whispered, his voice breaking. "If I had known it was for Noah, I never would have humiliated you. But it was too late. My scars were too deep. My dignity had already been sacrificed, and nothing could change that." Adrian's best friend, Marcus, tried to help, tried to defend me. He even confessed his feelings for me one evening, his kindness almost breaking through my walls. But my heart was locked in a prison of pain and confusion. And yet, despite everything, despite my anger, my humiliation, my grief, Adrian would not let me go. He pursued me with a relentlessness that both terrified and thrilled me. I wanted to hate him. God knows I tried. But love does not ask for permission. My story is not over. It is tangled in pain and passion, betrayal and redemption. But one thing remains true. Everything I did, every tear I shed, every piece of dignity I lost, was for Noah. Because I am a mother. And mothers will burn the world for their children. Now I want to ask you, if you were in my place, would you make the same sacrifice? Would you trade your dignity for the life of the person you love most? Tell me in the comments below. And if this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There are more stories waiting for you here. Stories of love, betrayal, sacrifice, and redemption.